governor's reaction we heard a short time ago, Rod.
Yeah, Devin, this was supposed to go from noon until 2 p.m. Take a look behind me here. They are still lining the streets. They are still blaring the horns, many with signs saying that essentially liberty and the governor's executive order have little to do with each other. Horns blared as many draped themselves in the flag. Others waved flags from the roofs of their vehicles. There were boat trailers and business vehicles. The drone video from the Conservative Coalition, which organized this rally, shows a traffic jam like few here have seen at the Capitol. Organizer Matt Seeley wanted the governor to know.
This is government overreach on steroids, and we've got to get back to just following the Bill of Rights, and people need to understand that an executive order is not the law.
Tracy Cross of White Cloud drove 2 hours to be here.
We want to end tyranny. We're tired of hearing the fear. We understand, we're sympathetic to people that do catch the virus and have the virus, but it should not stop the economy. It should not stop people's lives from going forward,
Donna Coor of St. Clair employs 300 people, had to lay some of them off, and is deeply concerned about Michigan business.
We're afraid that another 2 or 3 more weeks is going to be devastating, and a lot of good people are going to be put out on the streets because their businesses are going to.
The governor so far is standing by her order.
I support your right to free speech, and I respect your opinions. I just urge you, don't put yourself at risk, and don't put others at risk either. I was really disappointed to see people congregating, not wearing masks. I saw someone handing out candy to little kids, barehanded. We know that this rally endangered people. We're all in this together. I'm the governor for all 10 million people of the state, whether you support all of the policies that I've championed or not. And we've got to all do our part.
Well, I really can't hear myself think here, Devin, but here is the bottom line. This went national. The governor was on national television today. Coming up on Local 4 News at 6, we'll take a look at that and what that all means as the state goes forward. Reporting live from Lansing, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Okay, Rod.
This arbitrary blanket spread of shutting down businesses, about putting all of these workers out of business, it's a disaster. It's an economic disaster for Michigan, and people are sick and tired of it, and they're fed up.
I support your right to free speech, and I respect your opinions. I just urge you, don't put yourself at risk, and don't put others at risk either. The sad irony here is that the protest was that they don't like being in this stay-home order, and they may have just created a need to lengthen it, which is something that we're trying to avoid at all costs.
to those demonstrations around the country against stay-at-home orders. The protesters rallying in state capitals, calling the orders too extreme and a violation of their rights. Steve Osensami has more. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Michael. Many of these people take offense to the notion that they're not sensitive to the health crisis that's happening in this country right now. Some of them are having to sign up for unemployment for the first time in their lives. They want their government officials to take the risk, end the shutdown orders, and get this country back to work immediately.
In Michigan, they're calling it Operation Gridlock. Thousands poured into Lansing, the state capital, to protest the governor's stay-at-home order.
If you're sick, stay home and in your house. The ones that can work need to work. We need to open our businesses. Michigan is in dire straits now. We need to get to work.
Michigan's governor was not pleased that protesters outside her office weren't socially distancing. COVID-19 has killed more than 1,900 in the state.
The sad irony here is that the protest was that they don't like being in this stay-home order, and they may have just created a need to lengthen it.
The protest isn't ending there. A group of residents and small business owners have filed this lawsuit against the governor, saying that her stay-at-home order, meant to fight the spread of the coronavirus, is unconstitutional, arguing that Governor Whitmer has placed the cost of these orders squarely upon the shoulders of private individuals and their families, and has failed to justly compensate affected parties. Across the country, as the lines to the food and unemployment offices grow longer, patience is wearing thin for the restrictions meant to save lives. They were marching in North Carolina, too. One woman was taken away by police. They were shouting that they're more afraid of the spiraling economy than they are of any virus.
Everybody gets to make their own choice. If you're scared, stay home. But I'm not scared, and I don't want to stay home.
In Kentucky, where the disease has killed at least 115 people, churchgoers are suing, saying that the governor has gone too far, keeping the faithful from church services.
If I don't exercise my right, I fear that I will lose my right. And my right to religion is one that's been fought for centuries.
A number of states are now discussing ways to reopen, in some cases, setting up committees to give them options. George.